So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make card layout that adjusts to different screen sizes using HTML and CSS. So right here, before we proceed to styling, I would like to show you how I have placed the HTML code. So right here, you see we are inside of the body tag, and inside of the body tag, you see I have this div. I have given it a class of cards container, and it contains some code. So right here, I have an age1 element, and I have given it the class my title, and I have said best cards. All right, and right below it, I have this div. I have given it a class of card1, and I have added a figure, and I have placed an image there and a paragraph right below it. So this is the end of this div. All right, so this is one div. This is another div. It also has this figure and an image and a paragraph, and this is basically the same exact thing, except I have changed the class name to card3 and the image and the alt. So this is the end of the container tag, and this is the end of the body tag. So now we are ready to style this. So this line, this age1 is optional, and you can manipulate the code. It's up to you. So now I'm going to the style here. I'm going to style this page. Select that container div that contains all of the code. So I'm going to copy this class name, and I'm going to say dot, so let me zoom in, so dot cards dash container, and I'm going to open two curly braces. So right here, we are going to add some CSS properties. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to set the display to flex. Now I'm going to use flex dash direction. All right, I'm going to say row. And now we are going to the next line, and we're going to say justify content. I can say space between or space around. You can change it later. We can change this code later. But now we are going to add align items as well. So I'm going to say align items, so align dash items center. So I have justify content and justify items. So justify dash items center. All right, so we have all of these inside of this container, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these cards. So you see I have card 1, card 2, and 3. So I'm going to select them all at once. So I can say dot card dash 1, comma, card dash 2, comma, card dash 3. All right, and just like that. For the last one, we don't want to add, a comma there. So you see right here, I have added the dot there. So you see they match the names of our cards. So now we are going to add some styling here. So what are we going to do? Again, we are going to set the display to flex again for each of them. So display flex and width of 200 pixels. We are going to say height. So I'm going to say height. I'm going to change it to auto. Border 2 pixels, solid orange. I'm going to flex. So flex dash direction. I'm going to say column. So now I have that there. Now let's go to figure image, because you see for each inside of each div I have a figure and it has an image inside of it. So I'm going to say figure. So this is another selector, image. All right, so figure image, and I'm going to add some properties here. So we have this selected, and let me change the width to 200 pixels and height 200 pixels. So you see it's coming along with the middle one. You see this one is kind of it overflows. So it's okay. We will fix it. Will look better as we style it. We are going to say a figure paragraph. So figure paragraph to select these paragraphs, and I'm going to say text align center. So text dash align center, color, let me change it to yellow. And I know it's kind of hard to read the text now, but it's okay. We'll change the background later. Now we are going to say max width. So max dash width. Let's go about 200 pixels. I'm going to say word wrap. We want to make sure that it wraps. So word dash wrap, break dash word. So we want to make sure that our text wraps. So we are done with that. I'm going to select the body and change the color of the body. So I'm going to say background. Oops, what did I do? I have added these square brackets mistakenly. Okay. So we are going to say body and open two curly braces. So background dash color. Let's go with black for now. I have the images and the images are huge. So let's resize the image, and there is something wrong with the middle image. So maybe I can replace that, but I'll do it in a second. So now we are going to go to the image. What if I say 100 by 100? Okay, so 100 by 100. You see we have this, let's see. So the middle one, it doesn't show any border around it. So let me see if I can change it to 5 pixels. Okay, so you see the border doesn't apply to this. Oh, I have forgotten to add the period there. So make sure that you add the name of your cards correctly. All right, so I have that there. Right here, let's see, it says, you see it says best cards, but it's hidden. So I'm going to say, let's see, I'm going to go to that title. You see it says my title. So I'm going to say dot my title, and I'm going to say color orange. So I have forgotten to add the colon. Okay, so color orange. Okay, and we want to add some border around it. So let's add some border around it. So I'm going to say border 2 pixels solid orange. So you see it has added that. So this is optional. It's up to you if you want to keep it this way. But you see now, as I shrink the page, my page becomes unresponsive. And this horizontal movement, you see when I move it to the right and left, so this is not what I want. So maybe when I shrink the page and I reach this specific size, let's say that I want to switch the layout. So how we can accomplish this? So we can use something called media screen. So at the very end of my styling, I'm going to say, I'm going to add a comment here that says responsive. So responsive styling. All right, begins here. And I'll show you a trick to make this a comment. So highlight the text and then you can press Control and question mark. If you are on Mac, you can press Command and then the question mark. So you see, it will change it to a comment. That's how you add a comment. All right, so now we know that responsive styling starts here. So now let's use something called media. All right, so we are going to say add media screen and then you open two parentheses. So inside the parentheses, we can say max dash width colon, and then we add some pixels. So let me go about 500 pixels, something small. So this means, all right, for any screen that has 500 pixels or less, apply the code inside of the media role. Inside of the media, what we are going to do is we are going to use the dot card container. So we are going to use that name. So card dash container and open two curly braces. So right here, we are going to change the flex direction, so flex dash direction, a column. So now you see we have changed the layout using this one line. So now you see it's like this is best cards, and this is how it looks on a small screen. All right, so you see how nice it is. And maybe when I maximize it, it becomes this layout. But you see now, let's say that I want to go to the other mode faster, because I don't want that horizontal thing. So let's change this to 700. So 700, you see it's going to be like that. So now if I shrink it and I reach 700 pixels, it's going to change the flex direction of the flex container. So you see it says container cards. I want to make a correction here. So I told you that this code will be applied and this one will be ignored. No, this code will stay there, but whatever you change here, if this is true, so if this condition, if the max width is true and it reaches this specific size, whatever you add here will override this code here. So now let me just change the background color of the body. So I'm going to say body. Let me go with orange. So background color. So background dash color, orange red. So you see now it's orange red on a small screen, but now you see on a huge screen it's gonna be black. But when I shrink it and I reach 700 pixels or less, it's going to become orange red. But let's ignore that. I don't want that. I want it to be black, so I'm not going to even touch that. But you see now, let's say that we want this to cover the whole page. So if you want this to cover the whole page, what you want to do is you want to go to the cards container and change the height to 100 VH. So let's see, 100 VH. So you see on a huge screen, it's going to be placed in the middle. All right, so it's going to be like that. And when you shrink it, it's going to change the view to this layout. So it's going to change it and make it a column. But now it's a row. All right, so it's just one row now. When we view the page on a device that is 700 pixels or less, it's going to be a column. So how did we do this? Well, we have used this friendly media role. So add media screen, and I have said max width 700 pixels. And I will share this code with you all in the description of my video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Happy coding.